Corozal has numerous attractions, a marvelous culture, and exceptional cuisine. We will be featuring the white relleno, a Maya mestizo cultural soup popular in the north, especially in Corozal. This is our Belize, our people, food and culture. I'm here at Tony's Inn, the pioneer of the hospitality industry in Corozal. I'm honored and privileged to be with the owner, Mrs. Dahlia Castillo, and Chef Angel Pech. Where are you from, Chef? From Santa Clara, Corozal. I'm here to learn to make relleno blanco. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Shan.
Thank you. Okay. So Tony's Inn, how long has it been here?
It's going to be 50 years.
50 years.
1972.
1972. Mm-hmm. So what is relleno blanco?
Relleno blanco is a Spaniard dish. We inherited the mestizos here, mixture of Maya and Spaniard. Our ancestors brought this into us, and it is a special food, very expensive, but it is done by all mestizo families in this community, and I think countrywide a lot of people do it. This relleno really is also known as relleno de especies.
What does that mean, especies?
Especies is different condiments. When it's done, that special blend goes into that boiling broth.
Broth.
Yeah. The recado has everything already in there.
Okay.
So it's just to move on to start with our pork.
Pork, and that is a filling.
That's the filling.
And that is where the word rellenar comes from.
That's where it comes from.
All right, exciting. So question, can I see this recado being made? Can you make the recado for me, Chef? Sure. Okay, please make the recado. So you're saying it's from especies. So what goes in there?
We have here cumin.
Okay, so the chef will add cumin?
Cumin.
So comino, clavo, oregano.
Now the clavo, you have to be very careful. You're not going to put the same measurements of all the spices because this is very pungent. That's canela.
Canela. So we have cinnamon, cumin, oregano, clove. And what is this here?
This is the magic ingredient that makes miracles in that pot.
And what is this?
It gives color. This is saffron.
Saffron. And saffron, if I'm correct, is saffron.
Saffron.
I'm starting to see why this is an expensive dish. This is one of the most expensive spices in the world. How did that come to Belize? Again, you mentioned, because that's not from this region.
It's not. It's not.
So you mentioned Spain.
Yes, but we are fortunate that Belize imports everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it is something that is used here in Belize. So they do bring it in Belize, but also our neighbors, Mexico, have
so it's certainly our tradition, and it's certainly a food of Belize.
Yes.
All right, so the chef has onion, garlic, cumin, oregano, clove, cinnamon, saffron. And we're making a paste called recado. How many colors of recado do you know? How many kinds of recado do you know?
We have the red recado, we have the black recado, and we have this
white recado.
White recado. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And the red is made from?
From the achiote.
Achiote.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's made around here too, you know.
Great.
See that beautiful color there?
Wow. And this is, what is this equipment called?
That's the molcajete.
Molcajete.
Yeah, yeah.
Made from?
Stone.
Volcanic rock. Wow. Oh man, look at that.
Beautiful color.
So that is a recado.
That's
the
recado.
Especies.
The especies.
What's left?
Salt.
Salt.
We need a little salt. Why a little? It's because these two ingredients are very salty.
And what are these ingredients?
Olives. Olives without the seeds, by the way.
Olives without the seed.
And the capers.
Capers is salty, you're right.
Very, very salty.
You're very right. Okay, so what do we do now? We have our recado. Can I smell it?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
My goodness. When would you eat relleno blanco?
Definitely New Year's.
Definitely New Year's.
Definitely New Year's. And for birthdays.
So only special occasions?
No. If we feel like eating it, we'll do it, you know. But again, it's an expensive dish to prepare, so that's why it's only prepared on special occasions.
I love it. So what is this here?
That's the raw pork.
Ground pork.
Ground pork that we are going to,
All right, chef.
season with the recado.
Dale, chef. So we have ground pork, and if I'm understanding correctly, this is going to be the filling.
This is going to be the relleno.
Relleno, rellenar, to stuff, to
the
fill.
chicken. Yeah.
And here we have a whole chicken. Tell me about this chicken here.
This chicken is what we call the gallina de patio.
Gallina de patio, what does that mean?
Yard fowl.
Yard fowl, and it must be yard fowl, or?
Well, it gives better flavor and it withstands the boiling. It doesn't fall apart.
So it's a firm, the yard fowl, what we will call free range. And anytime you say something is free range, it builds more muscles because it's walking freely in your yard.
Yes,
so from the fact that this, in Creole we say, it look maga-ish, that means it's a little bit, it's firm, it's muscular, and that's a good thing.
Yes. And flavor.
And flavor. Okay, so the chef took the
This is the
recado de especies, he seasoned the pork. What else goes into the relleno?
That pork is normally pre-cooked lightly.
Pre-cooked lightly.
Yeah, not to stuff it raw inside.
You don't want it raw
No,
in the chicken.
I don't.
What else will go in your relleno?
We will have chopped
Well,
olives.
dale, chef. Here.
Olives.
You want me to chop it for you? Let me work too, man. Chop the olives. So I heard you.
Finely.
I heard you earlier said the olive should be without seeds.
Without seeds.
Because when you chop it, you don't want seeds. What else goes in there?
Eating it too, you know, it's chopped finely.
Okay.
And this goes as it is.
Okay. What's happening here?
This is going to be chopped finely also to go into the pork.
Okay. I noticed you separated the yolk from the white. What's the importance of that?
Some people chop it up, but I put it whole inside the meat, you know. So we put a yolk, the yellow in, and more meat, the yellow in, and so on. So when you cut it, it has that pretty color.
Beautiful. Okay, so you chop finely the whites.
The whites.
You separated the yolks and the olives.
Right.
So what happens now?
If this was already pre-cooked, that's at that point after we will add these.
So add it. Okay. So we have ground pork, the recado de especies. We pre-cook it, not too fully, to get it firm.
Just to not to have any blood.
Okay, then we add
Quickly.
egg whites and olives.
Capers, olives, and also the raisins go in it.
Add it, chef. So we're going to add capers, raisins, man. It really sounds, I'm starting to visualize the taste that this will have. So that's it. So you cook that lightly. Is this the finished product?
This is the finished product.
What's
Look
in
at
there?
the color.
Remind me what's in there.
We have here the ground pork, white raisins or golden raisins, capers, olives, almonds, and saffron.
Saffron and the recado, which is the spices.
The recado, which
is there a reason you put golden raisins?
Yes, it's less sweet than the dark ones, and it doesn't change the color that we want to achieve in this relleno.
And technically, this is supposed to be a white.
Exactly, a golden.
Golden.
Yeah, it looks golden when it's finished.
All right, what happens now?
Now we're going to do a rub on the chicken. Season it up with little salt first and the rub and a little bit of oil. Okay?
And I noticed you put olive oil.
Yes, because as we mentioned, it's a Spaniard dish, so
it must be olive oil.
And EVO2, extra virgin olive oil.
Very impressive. Because in Belizean cuisine, we put a lot of coconut oil and stuff. But this is a Spaniard dish.
Yes.
So it must be extra virgin olive oil. So we put some salt.
Yeah.
And again, the chicken must be a yard fowl or a free range to endure the boiling in your broth. I can't wait to taste this dish, you know.
You will love it.
I will love it.
Believe me. He's rubbing the recado
On the
on the
chicken.
chicken.
So we put extra virgin olive oil, we put some salt.
On the recado.
I'm impressed by that
it gets
ricado.
the flavor too. You know, you want to taste that flavor on the meat, on the soup.
I mean, when you go to other countries, they have things like, they have a lot of rubs and stuff. And other countries, they call it jerk and stuff. But this is more impressive than a jerk. I mean, this is
Yeah, it's good.
our... I see he's putting it in the cavity too.
Yes, inside, yes. Okay, the chicken is already seasoned, put the flavor on it already. So we're going to add the but, which is the relleno, which is the pork meat already prepared.
Okay, show me that,
Okay,
please.
and he's going to use the yellows to blend in along with the meat.
Now I'm finally starting to understand. So this what he's doing is literally relleno.
Relleno.
Without this step, this dish is not called relleno.
No.
Then it had become a mechado or something different. But only if you do this step, it's called relleno, yes?
Relleno, yes. It has to be embutido.
Embutido. That's why it's named but, because embutido en el cavity del pollo, del patio. See, it's Spanish anal, and it's Spanish anal.
See?
Very good. And now I understand this is why we separated the white from the yolk. And this is why, because you want it sporadically, I think the word is.
Yes.
Because when you take it out, it will have slices. Oh man, it's all making sense to me now. The rellenar, the embutido, the but, the stuffing, it makes sense now. I noticed the chef took one last piece of yolk and he put it right there. Okay, so this is filled completely. I understand now, we need to seal this.
Well, if you notice, they left the little fatty part here. That's what we use to cover it. Yeah, that's
and how will we seal this there?
He will use his needle and thread.
Really?
And it's white thread.
Why? Does the color make a difference? Does it matter?
It matters simply because white does not have added
color
in it.
Which is not food grade.
Exactly. So that's why it's got to be white.
Really? Amazing. Chef, I've never went to sewing school, but I don't know how to sew. This is impressive. What's beautiful work? Intricate. Yeah. This entire dish is very intricate, and I can't, oh man. So what happens next?
We're going to take this chicken now, put it in the boiling broth. Once we have it in there, we need to add the recado to the broth now.
For more flavor.
For more flavor. We need more flavor. But we strain it so we don't have any kind of little pieces of onion or anything floating.
Yes,
so
excellent.
Your soup has to look very pretty and smooth, just like how it smells.
Yes. Okay, chef. So the gallina de patio. Yes, How long will this cook for now?
At least an hour.
An hour?
Yeah, to get it real.
And that is why we need to use the gallina de patio, because another chicken will simply disintegrate in there. So what is the chef doing now?
He's diluting the recado with the same broth that is in there. We're not adding more liquid to it. It's the same broth.
And it's warm, so it's gonna...
so it's gonna melt good.
And then it's gonna strain it. I have a question. Can this be made with another poultry? Only chicken? Can it be made with, for example, turkey?
Yes, I am sure they could use turkey. It depends on what we like, no?
That's beautiful, Mom. So you strain the recado at this point?
Yeah.
To remove the impurities, the
little pieces of onion that did not...
colar or moler.
That did not grind well. So we don't want it to be floating in the pot.
Yes, Mom.
Okay.
So and at this point, what happens?
Well, we need to taste the flavor.
So adjust it.
Adjust it.
Okay. Chef? White relleno.
We're going to put a little bit of salt,
Yes.
just to enhance the flavor.
To enhance. Salt enhances flavor.
Flavors, that's what
But
it
this
does.
color is certainly,
Beautiful.
man. Okay, what else goes in this pot now at this stage?
At this stage, the chicken will boil, let go more of its juices
Yes, a little bit of fat.
and the fat, and
So we'll just cover for how long?
an hour.
1 hour, okay. Cover for 1 hour. Okay, so 1 hour time. And then we're gonna add more stuff.
Yes, we'll be adding the
Great.
capers, the raisins, just everything you saw we put on that pork. That's going to be all in the soup. Apart from that, we have these onions that we put these little onions. They look so beautiful floating up there with the combination of the colors of the shkatik. And those go to the end so that just the aroma stays in there.
And I see some wine too.
Yes, that goes the last.
I can't
Again,
wait.
to enhance flavor.
Yes.
And I choose a Chardonnay.
Yes.
The Chardonnay is very important because it's a dry wine, you know, so it blends perfectly with all the other flavors.
I don't believe you until I taste it.
Well, you tell me. An hour has passed. We took out the oiled chicken, already cooked in the broth, and we baste it now. We're going to put it in the broiler so it gets this golden color. We put the olive oil, crushed oregano just for added flavor. And this is how it looks before we can slice it to serve.
It is truly golden brown. So now we will serve it, we will cut it. But what happens to the soup now? Is that finished too?
The soup, we have to give it another boil to finish putting the...
So what are we adding again?
The olives and the capers and almonds.
Almond too.
And we have two kinds of peppers here. We have the shkate and we have the habaneros. We'll put this just to steam in the soup to get that fragrance in there of habanero and shkate.
Beautiful.
Okay? So once we have those in there, the final touch here is
What's the final touch?
the Chardonnay wine.
The Chardonnay wine. Look how it glistens. So the final touch is some wine. Chef, please do the honors. And this
So we give
explains.
it another boil and
And then we can serve?
we can serve.
My goodness. If I started to count, I can't remember the amount of ingredients that went into this soup. It's like I don't even remember.
That's why it's expensive.
Yes.
That's why it's, and that makes it very special.
Yes. Well, let's try it.
Okay, now we're going to serve finally this delicious and exquisite flavors of relleno de especias. Okay.
Can't wait. Go there, chef. My goodness. Wow. And now I finally understand when you mention about the boot and the yolks in the cavity, when you cut it on an angle, this is the final result.
Presentation.
And how would you enjoy this with now?
Naturally, tortillas.
Tortillas.
You cannot eat this relleno with anything else but tortillas.
It must be, and tortilla of corn.
Corn tortillas.
Must be corn tortillas. Wow. Thank you so much. This is truly, fit for royalty.
Oh, thank you guys for
Thank you
coming.
so much. And of course you have a little bit of wine, so shouldn't we take a little toast?
Sure, it pairs beautifully.
It pairs beautifully. Chef, thank you so very much. Thank you very much, Miss Dahlia, for having us here and explaining about the relleno blanco, or as you call it,
The especias.
especias. Thanks, Chef. Cheers.
Cheers.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Be a part of Belizean culture.
You can try this recipe at home or come to Corozal to Cielo and enjoy this exquisite dish that is being prepared by our chef Angel here. And I'm sure that you will not regret trying it.
Right here at Tony's, yes?
Yes.
With our Tourism Gold Standard program in place, your safety is our priority. Oh man, can I try?
Sure.
Finally! Thank you so much. I hear you have to do like a little roll of tortilla, right? So you do it? So,
Roll it up.
and you roll it way for you.